Happy Saturday, everybody. Guys, Nashville's housing market's getting really soft and it happened very quickly. In this video, I'm going to explain what I'm looking at, and it's not price. Guys, what we look at drives price, supply and demand. So in this video, we're going to take a look at active listings and contract volume, see how it's changing. I'm going to show you what Greater Nashville Realtors just posted. And I told you guys 4 weeks ago what they were going to post. If you don't know me, my name's Flynn. I am a CPA. I am a data junkie, a real estate investor, a licensed real estate agent. I do help buyers in the Nashville area, particularly Williamson County, especially if you're cash heavy. Guys, if you're not cash heavy, you really probably should rent. I'm not trying to get anybody to buy. 27,000 houses will buy in the Middle Tennessee area this year. And what I want to do is help some of them, like the Allens. We just helped the Allens get a 2.75% assumable mortgage. It was not easy, but they crushed it. Great for them. I'm so happy for them. Without further ado, let's get into the data. Okay, first things first, guess what, guys? The CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, they came out with a forecast on the 10-year Treasury. They think the 10-year Treasury is going up to 4.8% in Q3 and Q4 this year. Now, a couple of things I want you to know here. One is the CBO doesn't have a vested interest in the housing market. Okay, they're not Fannie Mae, Zillow, or the NAR. And so, interestingly, they forecast rates were going up. In fact, the more disconnected you get from people in the housing market or the stock market, the more you realize that it's very realistic that interest rates could go up. Okay, people in the markets that need interest rates to go down are telling you they'll go down because they've got one agenda in mind. That is, we have to see interest rates go down. People in commercial real estate need interest rates to go down to function. So they just think interest rates will drop. They're not dropping, guys. And, they didn't drop this last week. I said, be prepared for rates to go back up to 8%. And boom, rates have been going up since then. It's very possible they'll continue going up. Do not buy if you think interest rates are going down and you can just refi later. Do not buy right now. I'm passionate about that. It's great if they go down. It's great if you can refi. You can make a lot of money doing that. It is a massive gamble if that's your plan to afford a house. And believe me, a lot of people do that. I spent some time this past week with someone who got a DSCR loan, and they're getting crushed by interest rates, and they're trying to find a way out of it. So look, I'm just telling you, don't plan on that. Don't play the interest rate game. If it happens, great, make money, but don't play that game. It's very, very dangerous. It's a different market environment. Okay, Greater Nashville Realtors just published their January numbers. Now, if you know my Substack, I said it would be between 460, 465 for January. Here we are at 460. I said that a month ago. They just published this. Inventory down, told you it would be slightly down, and closed volume up for the first time since November 2021. So let's think about this. Closed volume's up for the first time since November 2021. Median price is up year over year. 2.5%. I thought it would be 3%, but it's like 2% Inventory down slightly. Those are all bullish indicators. So why, Ethan, are all of a sudden you're changing your tune on how soft this market is? Let's take a look at this. Okay, I know you guys hate this chart, but look, this green line is contract volume. This contract volume, it's year over year. This is 2024 contract volume right here. Okay, notice how it went under the red line. That's contract volume for last year. Okay, when it goes under, that's year over year negative. Contract volume is now year over year negative. 2176 is our contract volume now, whereas last year it was 2540. It's like 400 difference. It's almost 20%, like 15 to 20%. I'm not going to do it in my head, but the point is this gap is growing larger every single day, and it is a big gap. If we end February down 25% in contract volume, what do you think is going to happen in March? We're going to have a new low in close volume. Okay, so major risk to close volume here. Look at active listings. The gap is closing year over year. So even though we're negative, the gap is closing. And in February, it's getting really close. Look at that. February 11th, it was 52.80. February 10th day, it's 50. We're within 80, 90. We're within 90 right now. But the gap is just getting closer and closer. Are we going to go year over year positive? Guys, if active listings are year over year positive, if contract volume is year over year negative, what does that say about prices? I can tell you prices are trending up right now from a seasonal perspective, but they're not strong. It's not like this massive, strong, bullish market, even though we did have a multiple offer this week. I can maybe talk to you about that, but look at this chart in Williamson County. So this is active listings. That yellow is 2024. The blue is 2023. Active listings, 846 versus 792. Guys, we're up 7% in active listings for Williamson County. Now, there's a couple things you need to know about this chart. One is that new builds are having a massive impact in Williamson County. Okay, new builds are up almost 20%. They're up 19% in Williamson County. All right, think about that. 19%, that's huge. Existing is down 4%. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, if you break out price bands and you look at new and existing, it's even more dramatic. In fact, I put together this chart. Existing, when we look at active listings, over $1 million, they're still up 23%. Under $1 million, down 22%. So existing homes under $1 million, active inventory is down 22%. What happens to price? Price per square foot on things under $1 million have been skyrocketing right now. I can show you a couple neighborhoods here in just a minute in Williamson County where even though you're having a growth in active listings, even though contract volume is subdued, you can see in certain price points, certain neighborhoods of that specific subtype that's not available, inventory is tighter, prices go up. Okay, look at new builds over here. Active listings are up on the over $1 million. Prices are down 3% and over $1 million. Under $1 million, active listings are up 35%. Prices are down 2%. So new builds, prices are trending down from where they were last year, and active listings have skyrocketed. And that is why when we look at this 846, we can see there's so many more on there. It's because new builds are just absolutely exploding. Okay. So the new builds are driving prices down and increasing inventory. It's great if you're a buyer. In fact, if you are a buyer, I would consider getting a new build if it's in the location that you want. And if you are getting a new build, I would strongly recommend you getting an agent, especially if you live out of the area that will represent you. You really want somebody that buys houses all the time or helps people buy houses all the time to help you look for pitfalls, dangers, make sure you get an inspection, can hold the builder accountable. I promise you, it's worth having somebody that's experienced, hold them accountable. Now, let's take a look at some neighborhoods here. This is my neighborhood data tool tracker. You can see I'm adding neighborhoods every day. I've got some in Madison, Hermitage. This is the area that we just closed. One of my buyers just bought a house in this neighborhood. Would have been, look at that right there. Just over 200, 219 a foot. He got it on the bottom band. It's a newer house too. I mean, it was a good deal. That's why it's really important to use a data-driven approach to buying real estate. You will get a better deal, a better value. You'll know what you're going into, and there are value hacks like assumable mortgages, which are a total pain, by the way. I've done 2 now. Let's look at a neighborhood in Williamson County. Wow, look at that, up 12% in that area. That's interesting. I love this neighborhood. This is a great neighborhood. It's a great, great location. They got a pretty decent HOA. Look at that. Prices tanked last year. And they're actually rebounded pretty well this year. I will tell you, anything over 300 a foot, builders are building some really quality stuff under 300 a foot. So if you're anywhere near builders, or builders can come in, unless it's these super luxury $3 to $5 million houses, $2 million houses, I would be shooting for a sub $300 a foot purchase wherever I'm looking at in Williamson County, for what it's worth. You can see this data tool tracker. I put this together. If you are one of my buyers, it's free. Just reach out to me. If you don't have access to it, I usually send it out in my Substack. If you're not my buyer, just do a paid Substack subscription and you can look at this. Here's why it's good. Okay, you come over here and you think, oh, inventory is so tight, but it's actually really not tight here. Why? Because only 2 houses have closed in River Landing. So even though there's only 2 active listings, that's a very, very supplied neighborhood. Okay, we've already talked about this one being a disaster. They've closed 3 in the last year. They have 4 active listings. By the way, I had to fix my close volume was off, And so I finally fixed it. Look at this. I actually tried to fact check it today. 224 have closed in West Haven. You guys ask why my opinion changed some in West Haven. It's because 1 in 20 homes that sell in Williamson County sell in West Haven. 224, that's huge volume. That means there's a huge demand. It's a marketplace. It's not a neighborhood with slow volume. There's a lot of price discovery in West Haven. There's a lot of demand. They've done an extraordinarily good job of keeping new build prices elevated to a premium of what the existing are going for. I mean, it is out there. That's one of the this is one of the big problems with it. But and you guys tell me, like I said, I'm not familiar with the ones out here. I'm really not. But you tell me, like King's Chapel looks like, it looks like you're paying a premium. It looks like there's a ton of new builds over here. So whether you buy in this neighborhood or not, like there's just a lot of risk that a new build neighborhood will pop up and undercut the neighborhood you're in. It seems risky to me, but I'd love to hear your perspective. Truly. I mean, outside of 842, that's when I say far, when I complain about West Haven being far, 840 is like double that. You get outside of 840 out here and you're like, that's out there, guys. That's out there. But you tell me, I mean, disagree with me. Tell me in the comments if you think I'm just, wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. Out here near Spring Hill on the Williamson County side, June Lake, tons of new builds, guys. I mean, it's just better prices. They're just better prices. Yeah, look at these. Let me show you this real quick. Okay, these are all the new build listings. How are you going to compete with this, guys? 500 price points for 2,200 brand new house, new appliances, new roof, comes with warranties. So much cheaper over here. I would certainly give these a look. Last thing I want to show you, two things I want to show you. One is someone asked me, thanks for doing your weekly post. Would you look at Fairview and what do you think about it? Let's put in Fairview. You can't really get price trend on it because there's just not enough volume. But what we can do is look at new listings. New listings are 67 January 24. Let's go to January 23, 38. So we've got strong new listing growth. Let's look at under contract volume. Contract volume 21 versus 18 last year. So not as strong of contract volume. So we got a lot more new listings, not as strong contract volume. Now we're going to look at inventory. Let's look at active listings. Active listings, let's do a 5-year and just see where the trend is. Look at this, guys. In June 22, it skyrocketed, and now it's skyrocketing again. Guys, these are bearish signs for Fairview, okay? Now, without getting any more specific, you still need to look at price band and some other things. So without getting any more specific, the underwhelming amount that's going under contract right now, which is really nothing different than it was last year. It's not really trending up. That to me, those are all warning signs. Okay, so Fairview, I would expect it to be soft, but if you want to get more specific, because he said single family home, new or existing build, 30 minutes from Brentwood or Franklin is ideal. Would I pick Fairview? If I was looking for 30 minutes away, it sounds to me like they're probably wanting some more rural. You can get 300 to 400 in Fairview, new builds. But if I was looking, I would probably go down south towards Spring Hill on the Williamson County side. That's personally what I would do. But to each his own. You guys tell me what you would do. Give me your reasons why. Leave it in the comments. And with that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday.